Podcast title: The Boardroom Blueprint. Tagline: Insights into Corporate Governance, Board Leadership, and Ethical Business Strategy. Episode focus: Promoter Influence and Board Independence, Navigating Governance in Promoter-Driven Companies. Welcome to the Boardroom Blueprint, your insight into corporate governance, board leadership, and ethical business strategy. I'm your host, Sriram, your guide to better governance. Today's episode addresses one of the defining realities of corporate governance in many listed companies: promoter influence, and how independent directors maintain true independence in promoter-driven organizations. Promoter-led companies are characterized by strong vision, long-term commitment, and entrepreneurial agility. Many of the world's most successful companies have been shaped by promoters with deep conviction and sustained involvement. But concentrated ownership also creates governance complexity. When significant control resides with promoters, the board's role becomes more nuanced. Independent directors must ensure that their oversight role is exercised in substance, not merely in form. Legal frameworks such as the Companies Act 2013 and SEBI LODR regulations establish requirements for independent directors precisely to introduce objective judgment into board deliberations. Regulation 17 of SEBI LODR emphasizes the role of independent directors in ensuring balanced decision-making and protecting stakeholder interests. But structural independence alone does not guarantee effective challenge. Governance quality ultimately depends on independence of thought, independence of mind versus independence on paper. Regulatory frameworks define independence through criteria such as absence of material relationships, lack of pecuniary interest, and absence of close familial ties with promoters or management. These conditions establish independence on paper, but independence of mind requires more. Independent directors must maintain professional distance, intellectual objectivity, and willingness to question assumptions, even when such questions create discomfort. Independence of mind requires confidence to disagree, discipline to prepare thoroughly, courage to raise concerns early, and commitment to long-term governance integrity. Over time, familiarity can reduce critical inquiry. Long tenure can create alignment with legacy decisions. Social proximity can soften scrutiny. Independent directors must remain conscious of these influences. Independence is not a one-time qualification, it is a continuous practice. Managing promoter expectations. Promoters bring deep knowledge of the business, industry networks, and a long-term perspective. Boards benefit from this insight. At the same time, promoters may hold strong views regarding strategic priorities, capital allocation, succession decisions, or related party arrangements. Independent directors must balance respect for promoter vision with responsibility for objective oversight. Constructive engagement is essential. Challenge should be framed around strengthening decisions, not opposing individuals. Effective independent directors focus discussion on strategic rationale, risk implications, financial sustainability, governance alignment, and minority shareholder impact. Well-articulated questions enhance decision quality without undermining leadership authority. Managing expectations also requires clarity regarding roles. Promoters shape vision, management executes strategy, the board provides oversight. Independent directors must reinforce this structure consistently. Escalating governance concerns. Situations may arise where independent directors identify concerns relating to governance practices, disclosures, internal controls, or decision processes. Early escalation is often more effective than delayed intervention. Concerns may arise in areas such as related party transactions, executive remuneration alignment, succession planning transparency, risk oversight robustness, disclosure adequacy. Independent directors should use established governance mechanisms, audit committee review, nomination and remuneration committee discussions, risk committee deliberations, executive sessions of independent directors, direct dialogue with the chairperson. SEBI LODR encourages structured escalation channels to ensure concerns are addressed formally and documented appropriately. Escalation does not imply confrontation. It reflects governance discipline. Independent directors must ensure that concerns are articulated clearly, supported by evidence, and addressed through proper board processes. Documentation of discussions and rationale becomes particularly important where differing perspectives exist. Protecting minority shareholder interests. One of the most critical responsibilities of independent directors in promoter-driven companies is safeguarding the minority shareholder interests. Minority shareholders rely on the board, particularly independent directors, to ensure fairness in decision-making. SEBI LODR explicitly emphasizes equitable treatment of shareholders and transparency in disclosures. Independent directors must evaluate whether decisions benefit all shareholders proportionately, maintain fairness in related party transactions, ensure transparent disclosures, avoid preferential treatment, and align with long-term value creation. Minority shareholder protection is not an abstract concept. It is embedded in board approvals relating to mergers, acquisitions, capital raising, related party transactions, and executive compensation. Independent directors should ask, does this decision create disproportionate advantage for controlling shareholders? Is the valuation framework transparent? Are minority interests adequately considered? Where necessary, external advice may support objective decision-making. The role of board culture. Board culture plays a critical role in enabling independence. If boardroom dynamics discourage dissent, independence becomes symbolic. Strong boards encourage respectful challenge. They recognize that constructive disagreement improves decision quality. Independent directors should contribute to a culture where questions are welcomed and assumptions are tested. Silence does not indicate alignment. It may indicate hesitation. Board leadership, particularly the chairperson, plays an important role in ensuring balanced participation. Executive sessions of independent directors, as encouraged under governance norms, provide space for candid reflection without management presence. These sessions strengthen collective independence. Long-term governance credibility. Promoter-driven companies often benefit from strategic continuity and long-term orientation. When combined with strong independent oversight, such structures can be highly effective. But when independence weakens, governance risk increases. Investors increasingly evaluate governance quality as part of valuation frameworks. Proxy advisors examine board independence closely. Institutional investors assess the credibility of oversight structures. Therefore, independent directors contribute directly to investor confidence. Their effectiveness signals governance maturity. Their engagement reinforces trust. Their independence strengthens board legitimacy. Closing thoughts. Promoter influence and board independence need not be in conflict. When roles are clear, expectations aligned, and governance processes respected, promoter-led companies can achieve both strategic agility and strong oversight. Independent directors serve as custodians of balance. They ensure that influence does not become dominance. They ensure that vision does not override governance discipline. They ensure that minority shareholders remain protected. Independence of mind remains the defining attribute. Regulations provide the framework, but judgment provides the substance. Strong governance does not diminish promoter leadership, it strengthens it. Because when oversight is credible, decisions are more robust, risks are better understood, and long-term value creation becomes more sustainable. Thank you for listening to the Boardroom Blueprint. Lead with integrity and govern with purpose.